Hello, my name is Sherry Modano VR. I'm a driver instructor for San Marcos Unified School District. Today we are going to learn how to do a brake check on a dual air system with interior air release valves. This is the cut-in test. Step 1 is finding the cut-in pressure. The bus is turned on. The needles on the air gauges must have stopped moving to begin this test. They are still moving. Okay, our needles are still. Depress the service brake using approximately 5 psi. Wait for the needles to stabilize. Apply your accelerator. You're checking to see if the needles are going to start building air pressure. And no, they did not. Apply your service brake again. Let the needle stabilize. They're at 105 right now. Apply your accelerator. And yes, our needles are starting to build. It started at 105, so that's good. Cut in for any vehicle should be no less than 85 psi, and we've just established that the cut in for this bus is 105, so that is good. This is our cutout pressure test. During this test, we are trying to find out where the compressor to build air turns off. Our needles are currently moving upward, building air, so our compressor is obviously on to build air. This is established when the needles stop moving upward and cannot exceed 130 psi. Okay, our needles have stopped moving upward. And the cutout for this bus is 122 and 124, which is good. Now we're going to do our static test. The static test must be done with full air pressure. The bus is turned off. The key is turned to the on position. Allow your needles to stabilize for 15 seconds. Note that our maximum air pressure is 125 and 125. Now, time for 1 minute. During this test, there can be no more than 2 psi air loss. This is to check for air loss in your tanks. Any air loss should be submitted to the mechanics for a check. Okay, our minute is up and there has been no air loss during this test. Our air gauges are reading 125 and 125, so that is good. It's a good static test. Now we're going to start our applied test. We will continue with the bus turned off, with the key still in the on position. We're going to apply our service brake, release our parking brake, let the bus stabilize, approximately 15 seconds. Note what your current pressure is. On this bus it's 100 and 100. Which is good. We're going to check for adjustment. We're going to make a full brake application, taking note of what our air loss was in that full brake application. We want to make sure we don't lose any more than 10 psi's, which could indicate an adjustment problem. Make sure the needles are stabilized, and we lost 7 psi, which is good. Now we're going to do the applied portion of this test. Continue to hold your foot on the service brake. Start time for 1 minute. You cannot lose more than 3 psi, and this is to check for your air loss in your entire braking system. There was no air loss. The applied check is good. Reapply your parking brake. Now we're going to check for our low air warning on our secondary tank or our front tank. First, we need to make sure both tanks have 100 psi's or more. We're at 90, so if not, you need to start the bus. We need to build air to at least 100 psi. That's good. Turn off the bus. Turn your key to the on position, and you're going to wait for your needles to stabilize. Takes about 15 seconds. Okay, using your secondary release valve, you're going to slowly release, watching and listening for your low air warning indicators. Low air indicators should come on no less and stay continuous for no less than 60 psi. .70 psi, so that's good. Now we're going to simulate complete air loss in our secondary tank till all the air is completely drained. Start the bus. Put your bus in gear, release your parking brake, and immediately move forward, bringing the bus to a nice smooth stop with your service brake. Therefore, checking emergency stopping system. Reapply your parking brake and put in neutral. Rebuild air to 100 psi. Okay, we rebuilt our air to 100 psi's. Now we're going to go into our low air warning for our primary or our rear tank. Turn the bus off. Turn the key to the on position. Let your needle stabilize. Takes about 15 seconds again. Slowly release your air in your primary release valve, watching and listening for the warning indicators to come on. Must come on before 60 psi. Came on at 70 again, so that is good. Now we're simulating complete air loss by releasing all the air out of our primary tank. Take it all the way down to 0. Start the bus, put in gear, release your parking brake, and slowly move the bus forward, bringing it to a nice smooth stop. Using your service brake, this shows that the emergency stopping system is working. Okay, with the parking brake set, rebuild your air to 100 psi. Using dead throttle, release your parking brake, put in gear. Using your service brake, bring the bus to a nice smooth stop 2 times, and a parking brake. That concludes our dual air test.